Welcome to Open Spaces, presented by Elysian Brewing. Episode 3.
That was great.
So I think I would understand how to make a beer better if it was broken down in like the form of a card game, like Legends of Runeterra. So it's like building a deck, right? You've got, and Fear was just explaining it to me, right? We've got the yeast,
Ingredients.
the yeast, the hops, the parsley, and the water.
Barley.
The barley and the water, and you put them all together.
Parsley, barley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like building a deck, right?
Okay.
And
So I've never played Runeterra, so this is a good segue to teach me. I actually worked at a brewery like 12 years ago, and we went through training.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to ask me how beer's made, I would have nothing for you.
Nothing. What?
I know there's some part of yeast eats something.
The yeast eats the bread.
Something
and
like
then-
that. Clearly, you're dealing with professionals
Yeah,
here.
there we go.
So this is the very first step in the process,
Okay.
right? So what we do is take our bagged malt, we put it in the mill, and it basically lightly cracks open the grains,
Okay.
and then it gets carried all the way through these tubes, all the way up front, comes and it drops down into the mash tun up here.
Okay.
That's where we make the oatmeal.
So yeah, it is kind of like breakfast every
Yeah.
morning,
Yes, every time we do a brew.
and it doesn't matter which beer, lager, IPA.
Doesn't matter.
This is the first process.
Yep. So we had the grain outside.
I might have just touched something. Is that?
No, you're
Okay,
okay.
I didn't mess-
You're
okay.
good. You're good. I'll let you know.
Okay.
And this is when you get to add the hops. Just don't drop the bucket in there.
Wow. Drop the bucket. Drop the bucket in?
No, do not.
Don't drop the bucket.
Do not. Yep. Give it a little shake. Perfect. That's it. You did it. Yeah. There you go.
Ooh. Oh,
Yeah.
that's hot.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's real hot.
You got it though.
This is steaming.
All right, so what step in the brewing process is this?
Okay, this is going to be the final step of the brew day. The tank here has already been cleaned. This is the fermenter. And as soon as we get done with the brew process over here, boiling and all that, and then put it into this tank, we're gonna cool it down to about 68 degrees, and then we're gonna add yeast to this. And then it's gonna ferment and make beer.
Do you ever put your head in there?
Yes.
Hello! Oh my gosh, can you guys hear that? No, probably not. It's just me yelling.
All right, thanks for showing me how it all works, how it's made. It's really interesting to see, all the different stages of the process. There's a lot more going into it than I would have expected.
Yeah.
All right, Slim, is making beer like deck building?
Lisa, it is actually a little bit. I learned a lot about, the beer making process today. You got to balance a lot of different factors and reagents. The barley is kind of like the mana curve
Not
of
parsley.
the deck. Not parsley.
Okay.
You've got the yeast, which is kind of like your proactivity and reactivity balance. And then your hops, which is kind of like a balance between spells and units.
Okay, but I have to ask, what is the renekton of the beer process?
What is the renekton of the beer process? Just like jamming renekton in? Well, that would have to be the high temperature, Lisa, because as you know, renekton is hot. Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
My favorite part was learning that hops look a hell of a lot like rabbit food, or like feed that you
A little bit.
at the farm where you feed the goats. That was cool learning that the barley you put into like a big wood chipper and it gets sent through pipes in the ceiling.
Also hang out with you guys. 'Cause You guys are so great.
I don't know, you're not selling that. You didn't sell that well.
You guys are my favorite part of the day was being with you.
Lisa, that's so sweet.
You're very nice.
Ah, good times. Good times.
Well, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
To new experiences.
Yay.
That is definitely not nerfed.